What's going on, folks? With nothing better to do. I'm Blogzilla. You're watching the No Judgment Zone, and I have a beautiful guest with me, the lovely Cheryl Lee Ralph, Moesha Mama.
You know, wherever I go, I will never, ever live that down. Everybody always says, "Hey, Moesha Mama," although now it's sort of being half and half by, "Hey, Claudette." So, you know, we'll see where it goes.
That's what's up. That's up. Now, your show premieres on Nick Mom.
Instant Mom.
Instant Mom.
Tonight, October 2nd.
Yes.
Yes.
How is it? Is the second season filmed?
The second season, we're in it. We're in it right now. We have about 6 more episodes to go, and then we're finished with this second season.
When did you know you guys were getting a season 2?
Oh, I've always known it. In my mind, as soon as we shot the pilot and we got the pickup, it was never a surprise to me. I always told my producers, y'all better get ready because we're going to be here for a long time. And so I'm never shocked when I heard the first pickup. I was not shocked when I heard the second pickup. I won't be shocked when I hear the third pickup. I'll take a bigger vacation, but...
Woo. We're going to go to Jamaica.
Hey, I love Jamaica. Great place for a holiday.
Tell me about the show for those who haven't watched it.
Instant Mom stars Tia Mowry. Tia Mowry marries an older man played by Michael Boatman. He has 3 children played by Sidney Park. Oh, I love Sidney Park. I love Tylan Williams. I love DeMar Calhoun. Great cast, and I play the mom to Tia Mowry, the mom that just never goes away. And as all the little kids say, hi, 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 hashtag hi, hi, hi. And the whole premise is a family, a loving family. It's a sitcom with folks of color. Pick one. Okay, black.
You do have a show off Broadway. Tell us about the show. It's called Mighty Real.
Mighty Real, a new musical based on the life of Sylvester, the first disco queen, and he was amazing. It's just an incredibly inspiring, uplifting musical, and you know, everybody knows his music. You know, you make me feel mighty real. Everybody can see themselves on the disco floor, feel the vibe that they had at the time when that era was around, and you know, everybody just felt so good. So it's just amazing to see the audience every night get up to their feet, sing and dance in the aisles. Oh my gosh. You know, as a producer, you stand back and you look at it and you're like, thank you, God. That vibe is in the air, and they're loving this show.
How did you come across that material?
Talking about social media, these 2 young men kept hitting me up on my Twitter saying, Miss Ralph, we've got this show, we've got to meet, and I am like, this is social media. We do not have to. Okay? But something in my mind said, you know, let's do this. So I said, look, you know how you make that so you can do the DM? And then I said, I'm going to be in Philadelphia. Let's sit, let's talk. My husband dropped me off. My son went with me. I met these 2 guys, Kendrell Bowman, Anthony Wayne, who actually plays the character of Sylvester. And I was just like, wow, this is magic.
What is that like when you can see something and no one else around you can see it? Because you saw it and you were talking, a lot of people told you no. So what is that feeling like? And can you tell people like that who have ideas and want to put the ideas out, but like, that's never going to work, that's not cool. What is that like, and how do you continue to go forward when you see it and no one else around you does?
You've got to believe, and you've got to believe in your project. You've got to believe in yourself. And you know, I'm like the do girl. When everybody tells me don't, I know that I must do, because I believe in myself, I believe in my projects. You know, back in the day when I decided to fight HIV and AIDS because I felt it would be a threat to all people, everybody told me, you're crazy, do not do that. You know, pick something else, you know, anything. Pick dogs and cats. And I was like, no, this can have great impact. Told me no? That's when I knew I had to do. 24 years later, Diva Simply Singing. We are the longest consecutive running musical AIDS benefit in the country, and we simply dare to care. People said, no, it's just those people, it's just them. I said, no, this has the impact for all of us. Now, the people who are watching us here today, all of them know somebody who has been touched by that disease.
Yes.
So you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your project, and you've got to have that can-do spirit. You can't let people kill your dreams. You really can't. I'll never forget. I was shooting a film called Sister Act 2. And in Sister Act 2, there was this young actress by the name of Lauryn Hill. And I remember one day we were on a break. I played Lauryn Hill's mom.
You were
in Sister
mean in
Act
that
2.
movie. Ooh, I ain't like you in that
I
movie.
was a loving, caring mother who was going to make sure that my child went to school, studied, got the grades, and did not become a failure. She was going to do it, even though I was wrong in trying to get her to do it my way instead of listening to my child's dreams. But all of that aside, Lauryn Hill, in a break, says to me, she's playing at the piano. She says, "Miss Ralph, I'm gonna make it in this music business. And I have a group, and their name is the Fugees, and we're gonna be famous." She's 16 years old now. I said, "The Fugees? Honey, you sure you don't want to rethink that name?" Okay. She stuck to it. Everybody knows the Fugees, don't they?
Everyone.
Right.
That's
You
what's
got
up.
to hold on to your dreams and move forward.
Yeah, I tell people all this. I said, if you have a truly original idea,
Come
you
on.
don't have to worry about anyone stealing. You have to beat them into the head
Yes,
to
that's
accept
right.
it.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Mighty Real now when I see those audiences. It's the same thing 24 years later. You know, we're getting ready to do the 24th annual Divas Simply Singing in Los Angeles at the Ricardo Montalban Theater. And, you know, still the divas come one song at a time to fight the good fight against AIDS. And anybody wants to come, go to divatickets.com. divatickets.com. Order your tickets and come join one song at a time.
You have been doing this for a long time. You got your first audition. You went on your first audition and you nailed the role.
My first audition was a movie called Piece of the Action, and I played a mean girl. I played a mean, nasty little hood rat girl. And it's so interesting because my father said he knew I was an actress when I played that character because it was so far away from Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Yeah.
And baby, I did that.
That's what's up. That was with Bill Cosby and
Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
And that monologue, it's called the Barbara Hanley monologue, or Barbara in Piece of the Action. People watch it all the time on YouTube, and always somewhere down in the depth of comments, people are like, "Doesn't that look like Cheryl Lee Ralph?"
Let's talk about Moesha.
Yes.
Because that was a great arc. That was what, 4 or 5 years, wasn't it? It was a
My
long
God.
time.
Moesha was 100 episodes for sure. So, and it ended badly. It didn't end, you know, in a way that made the audience feel good. And I always miss the fact that we didn't have a great ending for Moesha, but it was an incredible beginning
was a
of a
lot.
wonderful series.
Yeah. What was it like working with Brandy and the whole cast of that back in the day?
You know, I think about working with Brandy, and I think about what it was like when I walked in and there was this young 14-year-old girl, and in all of her young, hip blackness and her braids, and you know, as somebody who had walked before, you realize that the walk that you made was worth something because she's here now, you know, and she's a kid. You know, whereas when I was 19 and working and doing my thing, people were like, "Yeah, but what are you going to do with her? What do you do with a talented black kid? And what do you do with a girl?" You know? And to see her and to have the show about her, for me, it just made me feel so good.
Because she's also won Ray Donovan
Yes.
as well. She plays Claudette, which is John Voight's, I can't think of his name. John Voight's
Yes. I'm John Voight's girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend.
I'm the one he robbed the bank for and gave a $500,000, and we got in the black Cadillac with his baby, my child, played by Pooch Hall, and we moved on to California.
Pooch was like the second guest on the No Judgment Zone. Shout out to my man Pooch Hall. We gotta have you back. That's our show, folks. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Folks, nothing better to do. That's our show. Join us next week when we take Kermit, put him in a full Nelson, Scorpion Deathlock, and then make frog legs and eat them in London with Coco.
There you go. You hear him? Coco. Hi, this is Cheryl Lee Ralph, and you're watching Global Grind.
I wasn't allowed to watch PG-13 movies. I'm pretty sure MTV was blocked.
It was about time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. And you got a great shout out from Kylie Jenner. You saw that? That was insane.